Hey, aloha everyone. Michelle Melendez with blossominnerwellness.com and standtogetherhawaii.com. This video is going to be on the Big Island General Plan, but I highly recommend that if you don't live on Big Island, you still watch it because you have a general plan that's coming in your area. And you can actually look at the testimonies that I've given and take a look at your general plan and see where are these in your plan, like the reduced miles traveled, the land use rezoning, the stakeholders, and many more, much more. If you do live on the Big Island, we have an opportunity right now to help the Windward Planning Commission not rewrite, but give recommendations of how they want to see the plan changed. We can actually do that, and they're asking us to do that. They're asking us, what do we want to be changed? And the chair is really open to submitting these changes. So I'm going to be doing a Zoom call this Saturday. If any of you have looked through the general plan and you want to help revise it, please click on the link below and copy the link below and get on standtogetherhawaii.com, standtogetherhawaii.com. I'm going to send that out to that list, that information, Saturday, 10 a.m. Hawaii Standard Time, to go over the general plan. We have 5 more opportunities to testify. And in this video, I'm going to share with you 2 of my testimonies. One of them, I'm pretty annoyed and I'm passionate. And I talk about the Constitution. What I didn't realize is that these people are volunteers and they're on our side. And after the second testimony that I do is a lot more mellow. And so you're going to be, I'll show you 2 of them. I'm going to be also pausing them so I can show you in the general plan what I'm talking about. So the very first part is I'm talking about the September 26th. We had an opportunity to write testimony about the general plan, but they didn't use any of our testimony. It was just like lip service. It was like, oh yeah, people wrote in and gave us their comments, but they didn't use any of them. So that's what I'm talking about. The first part of this. So let me share the screen.
Wow. First, I want to ask, the testimony that was submitted on September 26th, and did the planning department even look at those? Because none of this new plan has any, I don't see any of the changes that we submitted, the testimony we submitted. The word stakeholder is written numerous times, I think it's about 47 times in this plan, and the word homeowner and farm owner is written 0. And then I'm told that, oh, stakeholder means farmer or homeowner, but it also means investors. And actually in the word, the definition, it doesn't say farmer, homeowner. It says investors, it says suppliers, it says, oh, community members, so that's supposed to be homeowners. Like, who are these investors? That's a major question here, and I think I do have an answer for that. There's also in the general plan, it's on page 81, it talks about reviews should incorporate reduction in vehicle mileage travel to mitigate traffic. So I was just curious if you guys remember that you all took an oath to defend and support the Constitution. We have a right to travel. We also have a right to own property. And I'm really curious, what laws and where in the Constitution does it say that you have a right to tell us what to do with our property and the land use? What is happening is absolutely against the Constitution. And the Constitution these days seems like a bad word that people just don't want to discuss and remember. And these 3 circles.
So I want to pause that there because I want to show you what the heck I'm talking about. And if you go to your general plan, friends, sisters, ohana, uncles, aunties, go to your general plan if you are not on Big Island. If you are on Big Island, please join standtogetherhawaii.com. But check out your own general plan and look for the word stakeholder. But I do want to show you where it's at in our general plan here on Big Island, so you know what I'm talking about. And I'm going to do a pause of the recording so that I can share that with you. And hold on one second. Sorry. Okay, there we go. Okay, I found it. So hold on one second. Share. So the word stakeholder is right here. Is an individual or group or organization that has interest or concern in a particular project, decision, or activity and can be affected by its outcome. Stakeholders can include a wide range of entities such as employees, customers, suppliers, investors, government agencies, community members, and non-government organizations. They can be influenced or they can influence or be influenced by the objectives, policies, and performance of an organization or project. Effective stakeholder engagement and management are crucial, blah, blah, blah. So the reason why I wanted to show you this is because it doesn't say all, people on Big Island. It says, any organization, community members, investors, government agencies. It doesn't say on Big Island. These could be anybody, anywhere in the freaking world that can be influence or influence our general plan. And in the general plan, there's so many areas where it says they will collaborate with government, federal government, nonprofit and for-profit organizations and stakeholders. So that's anybody in the whole entire world that they can collaborate with, because that's the definition. It doesn't say homeowners on Big Island, farmers on Big Island, investors on Big Island. It's totally broad. So anybody in the entire world could actually influence our general plan here on Big Island. That's not Pono. Pono means okay, make things right. That is not Pono. So I'm going to go back to my spiel and testimony and keep going with that, because this next part is about the 3 foundations of the plan. Share, here we go.
Social and cultural equity, fairness, environmental protection. When you have the word protection in places, that scares me, because what happened 2 years with protection, it took away our freedoms, disregarded the Constitution. This should say environmental stewardship. That should be that word there. And it should say cultural thriving, community thriving. When you have equity, that means fairness. That means there means more roles. You have in here, the council shall.
So I want to pause that again, because I want to show you where that's at in the plan. So you know that Michelle's not wackadoo. Share. And it's down here. It's these 3 circles. Sorry, don't close your eyes if you get dizzy. I'm almost there, right here. Social and cultural equity. This word equity means fairness. Who's going to decide what's fair? Who is going to decide what's fair? And what's going to happen if what we do isn't fair? What rules and regulations and fines are people going to be put under because somebody in the governmental planning department says that it's not fair? That word, social and cultural equity, I'm telling them that needs to be thriving communities. Create thriving communities. Have thriving communities be a foundation of our general plan. And then this one, environmental protection. Again, you put the word protection in a government document, that means rules, regulations, fines, jail time, possible arrest if you don't comply with the protection. So I'm saying this needs to be environmental stewardship, taking care of the INA, taking care of the land. Economic growth, I agree with that one. There's probably something in there that I'm missing. So if somebody wants to tell me that, that's fine. Again, this is the Hawaii general plan. If you are watching this, look at this for your own general plan. The word protection always sounds good, right up until somebody says, oh, you can't do that because we have to protect the environment. Oh, you can't walk and enjoy nature because we're protecting the environment. So that's what I'm talking about there. And then let's go back to my testimony. This first one's almost finished. So they're a little over 3 minutes long. Oh, sorry, I forgot to click sound. Share the sound, otherwise you can't hear. And I hope the sound is okay.
Enacting zoning, subdivision, and such ordinances. And you're trying to say, Jeffrey, you're trying to say that you are not. Yeah. I apologize. He's not even watching. I don't know if he's listening or not, because the whole time this person was saying something, he's on his computer. So
he's looking up the property.
Okay. All right. I apologize. Thank you. So this, you're sitting there telling us that there's no zoning, but that's not true. You're not going to change the zoning. That's not the truth, you guys. You're changing the land use, which gives an open door down the road to change the zoning. You also have in here this last one, bulk regulation. are standards that govern the provisions for lots based on housing type and by zoning district. You have height limit, minimum building site areas, minimum building site average, minimum yards, setbacks, floor area ratio. What gives you the right to tell people what to do with their property? Are we in the United States of America? Are we communist China? Do you guys remember your oath? Do you remember the flag? Do you remember the men and women who died and fought for their
minutes for us.
Yes, I remember that.
Okay, so I totally got in trouble because the woman before me who was testifying, this guy, one of the commissioners, was on his computer the whole time looking down, and I didn't realize that he was actually looking up her property. I thought he was ignoring us reading his email or something. So I called him out on it because I'm all, and Jeffrey, who's not even looking at me the whole time I'm talking, and then he started to pay attention. So that wasn't my, they said that no, he's looking up, he's actually doing his job and he's actually listening to us. And these guys, this commission is actually on our side, and I actually like them now very much, especially that chairman. He's really, really on it. So the things that I shared were bulk regulations. In fact, let me show you that, because this is this is something else, you guys. This is real something else. So I highly recommend, again, look at your own plan. I'm actually going to show you how to find stuff in your own plan, because I want to show you guys the regulations, bulk regulations. So here's our general plan on Big Island. This is the general plan here. And I just go up to here, up at the top, and I click on Find under Edit. So I click on Find, and I put Find in there. And then I need to move my screen because Find is up here. So then I put in whatever word I want, whatever word I'm looking for. So right now I'm looking for bulk regulations, and I put in bulk and it goes right to, it'll go to every single word that's bulk. So that's how you find stuff in your general plan. And you can do that on any website. So bulk regulations, this is what I was talking about, are standards that govern the provision for lots based on housing type and by zoning district. Bulk regulations include height limit, minimum building site areas, minimum yards. That's what I talked about. So this is bulk regulations. They're going to be regulating us more, you guys, on Big Island. Like we don't have enough, homeowners don't have enough hoops to jump through. So the other thing that's really cool about this Find, again, if you go to Edit, click on Find, click Find, and then you go to the upper right-hand side, I put in stakeholders, and it'll show me how many words or how many, 16 matches. 16, oh, that's interesting, because it used to be much higher. I think the first time I looked for the word stakeholders, unless, let me see if I go all the way to the top. You might have to go all the way to the top, but I don't think so. Should be stakeholders or stakeholder. Stakeholders, 16 matches, stakeholder, 3 matches. Wow, it was a lot more when I looked at this. So I'm looking at this and I can see that on the right up here on the left-hand side, it tells me how many. I think they took that. I think they took it out. I think they took some of these stakeholders out, because I remember I was very specific on that. And even in my last testimony, I said it was written 74 times, or I'm sorry, 47. Now it's only 16. I think that's really interesting. Okay, so last part is, I do want to do, this is not the last part, but I want to show you my other testimony, which is a lot more softer and I'm a lot more kinder. But I do want to do a shout out for my sponsor, Ace of Coins. If you want to license your biometric data, your face that's being used by big tech, you can go to aceofcoins.com, aceofcoins.com. If you want to lower your taxes or eliminate your tax debt, you can check out aceofcoins.com. That's what they do. And if you want to buy Bitcoin tax-free, aceofcoins.com. If you're listening on the Voice of Kona Radio, 100.5 FM, mahalo so much for listening. And if you want to join us, if you're listening on the islands, stand together, Hawaii.com. Okay, you guys, because we are going to be doing a live call on tomorrow. And then I'm going to show you one more special thing after all of this, because I do have a new subscription thing that I'm doing. Okay, so let me do another screen share. And this was my last testimony, which was last Monday. Oh, sorry, I forgot to hit the sound. They actually extended the testimony. They extended the testimony, and this was the one I did on Monday. And it's another 3 minutes. Here we go.
and you can, yeah, there's
Also, it was raining, dumping rain, and my hair is soaked. I was kind of soaked.
there's rules here. You can't do what you want. You can't throw your food.
Okay. So what I was saying, what I started with, can you imagine? Let me do a stop stranger. I started with, can you imagine telling an ancient Hawaiian, you're going to change their land use? That's what I started with. So that's what I'm talking about. Can you imagine telling an ancient Hawaiian, you're going to change their land use and they're not going to be able to do what they want and build anything that they want? You're going to change it from residential to recreation, and you get to tell them what to do on their property. So that's what I'm saying, because I'm like, are you guys crazy? Like, that was my point. Sorry, here we go.
Imagine that you wouldn't get very far with that at all. This plan does not support the people in so many different ways. And I propose, like, I love that you said we can't throw it out. What do we do? Grab the 2005 plan. What happened to the 2005 plan? Where did that go? This is a complete 180-degree turn from what that plan had. Do you know that plan has farmer written in it? Actually, 14 times homeowner is written in that plan. Homeowner and farmer are not written in this plan at all. Investors are written in this plan. And this plan also has a whole section on climate change. Do you know that there's almost 2,000 credentialed scientists from around the world that have signed a world declaration that says there's no climate danger? Almost 2,000 from all over the world. I can send you the link and I will send it to you. Also, there's many.
So I want to stop because I want to show you guys that. I want to show you what I just talked about. So I just put in World Climate Declaration. That's where you can find it. URL, World Climate Declaration. There's no climate emergency. And here's the PDF. And this shows you the World Climate Declaration. There's no climate emergency. 1,960 signatories from people around the world. And it shows you, well, let me just read what it says. To believe the outcome of a climate model is to believe what the model makers have put in. This is precisely the problem of today's climate discussion, to which climate models are central. Climate science has degenerated into a discussion based on beliefs, not on sound self-critical science. Should not we free ourselves from the naive belief in immature climate models? This was signed by people from all over the world. 5 signatories from Argentina, 108 signatories from Australia. Shows you all of them, shows you what, so their name is on the left, their job is on the right. So this is David Arch Bilbob of Australia, and he is a research scientist, retired teacher programmer, retired professor in geophysics, all of them. So you can go ahead and go look at this World Climate Declaration, and that is the URL. You can find that yourself. And then I'm going to talk a little bit about John Coleman, and I'll show you his video as well, because he's pretty amazing. But let's keep going.
Meteorologists and climatologists that are saying there's no climate danger. John Coleman, who was the first weatherman of Good Morning America in the 70s, he's the founder of the Weather Channel, John Coleman. And he has been on the news stating, in fact, many videos he has shared that stating there's no climate danger. And has the water risen?
So let me just show you him, because he's pretty amazing, this guy, John Coleman. So here's what John Coleman has to say about climate change. And he's the founder of the Weather Channel. You guys think he knows anything about the climate? It's pretty interesting.
Told that we are destroying this planet, and because of what we're doing to the climate. And I want you to know that if I ever thought that was true, that we were creating global warming or climate disruption through our burning of fossil fuels and creating carbon dioxide in the atmosphere, I would devote the rest of my life to protecting this planet. I mean, that's very important. This is our home. This is what we got. This is where we live. But I am also absolutely positive that this whole thing about carbon dioxide and global warming is bad science. Science gone bad. Science been taken over by people with political and environmental agendas, and it's just gotten really way out of hand. So I speak out about it whenever I.
So this is the guy, first weatherman for Good Morning America in the 1970s, founder of the Weather Channel. This is what he's saying, you guys. So I just wanted to share that because I mentioned him in my testimony, and there's so many more, but I won't go through all of them. But I do want to finish up the testimony that I did on Monday.
In Hilo or Kona, all of this stuff, there's also huge weather modifications. You know that there's over 100 weather modification patents for seeding the weather. And I can actually show you that. And I would actually, I'd love to give you my book right now, Land Grab, What Caused the Maui Fire and Is Your House Next? Because the reason why this is happening is because these investors are invested in renewable energy. Did you know that if you an electric vehicle takes 2 hours to put out, if it gets on fire, a gas car is a 5 minutes to put it out with about 500 to 700 gallons of water. Electric vehicle, it takes between 2,000 to 25,000 gallons of water to put out an electric vehicle, and 2 hours, up to 2 hours to put our electric vehicle. We want these on our island. Plus, how are they going to get here? By boat? Do you want to know there's articles that say that boats have sunk because they believe it's the batteries in the electric vehicles. There's some boat captains that will not ship electric vehicles, and we want them on our island. So this climate change, we need you to please look at the evidence and the argument for the climate change and who is proposing it. The other thing I want to share is the environmental protection. Anytime there's the word protection, that scares me, because what do? The word protection is they take away freedoms. It should be environmental stewardship. We should be taking care.
I'm going to pause that. And so I did repeat some of my other testimony from the last one. Is this recording? Okay, good. But that is the video I wanted to share. It's really, really important that we, especially on Big Island, that we look at this plan, that we submit what we want to see changed. And so that they want us to be really specific, and we can do this. I've already created it. It's a PDF, standtogetherhawaii.com/action. You can click on that PDF. It's already started. If you are somebody who's looked through this plan and has some edits of your own, please email me or join us on Saturday 10 a.m. And you've got to join standtogetherhawaii.com to get that email, or to get the email that'll give you the link. I'm going to put it in the email. So Saturday 10 a.m. this Saturday, which is the 9th. Okay, everybody, that is my spiel for now. I'm going to do a prayer. And then again, I really encourage you, we got this. We totally got this. We just have to take action. You know, we have to do our part, what's our kuleana. Great Spirit, I feel the intensity right now. I feel just the passion that I have my own self for what is right. And I know that there are people who are watching this video who know what's their kuleana, to do what they know to be right. And Great Spirit, I just give so much appreciation and gratitude for the courage that each one of us has to step forward and to speak our truth. To speak our truth in front of county councils, in front of commissions, in front of boards, in front of anyone who will listen. And we do it with aloha, and we do it with kindness. And we take that anger and that frustration, and we move it toward passion, into taking the right action and doing what is right for our aina, for our land, and for the future of our keiki, for the future of our children. And Great Spirit, we just know that anybody who does not stand for freedom and stand for not just the rights of people, but the knowingness that every human being on the planet matters. Every living man and living woman matters. And if there are any people in power right now who do not value that, then we bind them We bind them with the blood of Jesus who settled the contract of death for us. We bind them that they cannot harm anybody. And we just know, Great Spirit, that all weapons around the world are not functioning if they're meant to try and harm a human life, a living man and a living woman. We call that forth. We bind anything, any weapon, any person, any system, any rule that would harm a human life, a living man and living woman. We bind it right now. And we know that it is done. Great Spirit, we are so excited to see this new planet and this new world, a world of peace and of freedom, where we wake up excited to be alive, that life is easy, that people are not struggling to pay the bills, that people are thriving together in unity and in harmony and loving themselves and loving each other. We know that that is done, Great Spirit, and we get to watch as it unfolds, and that is so exciting. And so it is. So I send you and your ohana so much aloha from the Big Island. I am going to be doing a subscription kind of inner circle live classes. So if you want to learn more about that, and you want, if I feel like the right teacher for you, supporters, then you can go to blossominnerwellness.com, blossominnerwellness.com, join the community, click on subscribe, and you'll be able to sign up for that. Okay, you guys, much aloha.